Okay.
Can I say something before you get started? You know what your one main objective in life is? It's to find the best car price. And the best place to find the best car price, after you're rubbing your forehead.
I feel like I'm having like a spoken word event or something right now.
This whole thing is just a spoken word event. That's all we do is spoken word. You know, we could be up for a Grammy.
Have you ever been to a poetry reading? Like a poetry slam?
No, have you?
Yeah, one.
And how was it? Good enough that you never went back?
The girl I went with was cute, so I was happy. That was, yeah.
Okay. How was the poetry? Got no idea, but the girl was good looking.
And findthebestcarprice.com /insider.
Yes.
They love to be associated with our terrible antics and gimmicks.
Yes.
What are they up to over at Find the Best Car Price, Dad?
Well, to help you find the best car price, obviously. It's the most important thing you could ever do. Go to findthebestcarprice.com /insider, and Jeff will help you find the best car price. And, well, your quest for the best car price will end at findthebestcarprice.com. How many times can you say find the best car price in a promo?
Okay, let's get into today's video.
Yes, it's about time.
It's about time. So, title of today's video, as you can see, we're talking about some of the opposition that the automotive industry is kind of putting in place against some new proposed federal guidelines around your data security.
Hey, if you want your data secure,
go to find the best car price.
Go to findyoursecuredata.com. And if they don't exist, we're going to start them. Okay.
No, but seriously, so there's some proposed regulations. It's called the Safeguards Rule, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And this is from the FTC?
Yes, they're looking to enact even stronger safeguards because God knows we don't need those. There's hardly ever any data breaches. So, you know, of course, car dealers who have to pay for part of this, they have no, I won't say they don't have an interest in protecting your data. They do because, well, the government told them they have to.
Yeah.
Okay? But they don't really have an interest in spending a lot of money to do it. They think it's the bank's responsibility, and to a certain degree it is.
Well, let's set the table a little bit. So what's happening here is that obviously when you buy a car,
yes,
you're handing over a lot of personal information.
Including, and not limited to, a credit application that has your date of birth and your social security number, and I don't know, where you live and everything else about you.
You're handing over everything, right?
Yes.
And so the regulations surrounding the level of security that banks have to have in place with that information,
yes,
and that the software companies that are facilitating these, you know, the information transfer,
yes,
is a very high bar.
Yes,
right?
And how dealerships have to
yes,
safeguard it as well, because
that's what this proposal is that dealership groups should take it to the next level.
Yes, they already have to. They started safeguarding this information a few years back, but well, they have.
I know, but some of the proposals here are like very commonplace in other industries, like end-to-end encryption.
Okay,
like
yeah.
The fact that that's not currently a requirement at a dealership for someone who understands aspects of technology,
yes,
not an expert, but like the fact that it's not regulated, that my data has to be encrypted at a dealership is very concerning.
And that information is available to third-party vendors that dealerships do business with.
We've talked about it all the time. We'll link to one of the videos right about there.
Okay.
You know, about the dealer tracks or the route ones, the different, kind of like shotgun applications.
Even just your dealer management system.
Exactly.
Your CRM. You know, that has valuable information and personal information in there. And, you know, you don't want dealerships to become the next Equifax, you know, where somebody hacks in and steals 30,000 customers' information.
So that's the point, right? Is like the local dealership doesn't have Equifax scale in terms of hundreds of millions of contacts information.
Yes.
They might have 30,000, 50,000,
yeah,
100,000, right? The issue is they don't have the type of security or protections that, you know, a big bank might have, or
yes,
you would think an Equifax would have, which obviously in their case they didn't. And so some of the suggestions that are coming out from the FTC are things like having two-factor authentication to log into certain applications, having access control, so being able to log who's accessing what. I mean, Dad, I used to work at a business where we became HIPAA compliant. And HIPAA compliance, if you're unfamiliar, is being able to interact with medical data.
Yes.
You have to be HIPAA compliant to do that legally. And some of the things you had to do is you had to set up logging. And what logging is, and it's part of this proposal, is every single interaction with information is logged on a per user basis. And so if I'm a dealership employee, the question becomes, can we put a system in place that tracks every time Ray or Zach or John or Mary logs into a system? And if something were to happen, could we pull those logs and look at them and see who got access to what information?
And try and determine how or why, because there have been instances where dealership personnel, whether it be in sales or finance and insurance, have misappropriated customers' information and gotten loans that the customers didn't know about. Well, for other people, because they've misappropriated their information. So it's not like it doesn't happen. It just has never really happened to the scale that we've seen with data breaches at Marshalls or Target or
which
wherever.
makes sense because most mom and pop dealerships obviously aren't at that level of scale.
No.
And the bigger ones, the AutoNations of the world, the Penske's, they have some more robust safeguards in place simply because they recognize the importance.
Yes, but probably not as robust as what the FTC is looking at.
And that's where we're getting a ton of industry pushback. Ton of industry pushback.
Yes.
Because, what was it? I think they were suggesting that there should be a new role at the dealership. What's the title called again?
The Chief Information Security Officer.
That sounds expensive.
Well, anything that has chief in the name, other than Indian, anything that has chief in the name in a hierarchy of a dealership or a corporation, well, those people normally get paid a lot.
Yeah, and so I think what was the industry study suggested that it would cost like $300,000 to employ that person and take care of other safeguards.
They are suggesting for a mid-sized dealership. Not a big dealership, just a mid-sized dealership. Initially, to comply, they'd be looking at almost $370,000, and then on an annualized basis, a little over $336,000. So, there's an extra $336,000 that somehow has to be gained through profit structure to be able to pay for this employee. And other technologies so that they can be compliant. So I understand from a financial perspective why there's pushback, but I also understand that ultimately, if everybody's on the same level playing field when it comes to this, that the customer is going to be the one that ends up paying for it.
It'll get built into a cost structure.
Exactly. So I think these programs are good. They're trying to protect customers' valuable personal information, but ultimately, like so many things in this country, the ones that are being protected are the ones that are actually going to pay for it.
Yeah, no, I get it. But also I think you need this type of investment because
you do today, in today's world. Yeah.
You absolutely have to.
Yeah.
Like it's actually kind of crazy to think that the amount of information that that a salesperson at a dealership has access to.
Oh my God, yeah.
I mean, so maybe you could speak to that just briefly. Like, you've worked in a lot of dealerships over many decades, many years. I mean, am I far-fetched in saying someone could just log onto a computer and pull someone's information? I mean, they couldn't they?
Yes. Yeah,
and,
and sometimes you don't even have to log onto the computer. All you got to do is look at the credit application that's part of a deal, which is why deals tend to go to corporate offices much more quickly than they used to, so that stuff can be locked away and
that was one
limited access to.
That was one of the things when I worked at this company to make us HIPAA compliant. If we had any physical PHI protected health information, we had a whole protocol for how we would shred it within a set period of time and how it was stored in a safe area. I mean, I don't know if dealerships are necessarily, enacting rules similar to that now.
All I will tell you is that dealership sales managers and dealership F&I managers and dealership salespeople, all they really care about is trying to figure out how to sell the next car. and they're not as compliant as they should be about leaving somebody's driver's license on top of their desk, or leaving somebody's credit application sitting out on top of their desk where anybody walking by could see the information. Hell, I couldn't even get them to be concerned about protecting the keys to the cars, okay? Because they could leave 4 or 5 sets of keys on their desk.
Yeah.
And then you wonder why, the set of keys is missing, or more importantly, why the whole car was missing. So you have to realize, and I think most dealership owners realize that the amount of time that a salesperson is willing to invest in taking care of these things is minimal, because all they're thinking about is, how am I going to get the customer to say yes?
Yeah. We'll link to the article down below. Really, a worthy read for you, because
Yes.
it's your data, it's your information. If you're going to engage with a dealership, just be aware that these are some of the things that, as an industry, they're being asked to do. And there's obviously pushback. It's going to cost them money, which ultimately will probably cost the customer money. But it's compelling and interesting stuff to be aware of, and something that we thought we should vocalize here
And share with you.
Yeah.
Because we are findthebestsharers.com.
Yeah. We do have Deal School, though. 100% free. Link down below. Go enjoy that.
Go to Deal School.
Thank you, Dad.
Thank you, Zach.